For some folks, the most valuable thing on a Disney World vacation is getting an extra glorious hour of sleep. We're going to show you in today's video how you can do that and manage to pull it off without sacrificing any of the amazing rides of the park you're heading off to. Today we're at Hollywood Studios. We're going to show you how you can sleep in and still get everything done in this park. Let's go do it. Hi ho everybody, this is Rob with Ear Scouts coming to you from Disney's Hollywood Studios, and we are making another Disney Genie Plus video, but this one is a little bit different than most of them. Normally in these videos, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me sound like a broken record. I say, you gotta get up a little bit before 7 a.m. Well, guess what, friends? This morning, I did not get up a little before 7 a.m. In fact, I didn't even get up until a little before 8:30. The reason for that is that's actually the time that this park opened today. When you're using this strategy that I'm going to teach you today, there's actually no reason to get up at 7 a.m. You can just get up right when the park opens. The reason for that is the way that the 2-hour rule works with Disney Genie Plus. So, in case you need a quick refresher, you can book your next Disney Genie Plus Lightning Lane either after you've used the most recent Lightning Lane that you've booked or waiting 2 hours after you booked it. But there is a really important asterisk there. If you book that Lightning Lane before the park opens, the 2 hours don't actually start counting down until park opens. So for that reason, there's really no point in booking a Lightning Lane right at 7 a.m. because your 2-hour clock isn't going to start counting until the park opens. In today's video, we're going to use a technique you've probably heard of called stacking. The idea behind this is you're going to book another Lightning Lane every 2 hours as the day goes on, and that way, by the time you get to the park, you've got a stack of Lightning Lanes lined up, ready to go. But that feature is actually even more powerful now that Disney has added the ability to modify an existing Lightning Lane reservation. So the way this is going to work now, think about it, you can pretty much book anything earlier in the day, and right up until the moment that you ride it, you can actually modify that reservation. You can change the return time, or you could change the ride you want to ride entirely. So this puts a lot of power in your hands, and it makes it a great reason to use the stacking feature to do pretty much whatever you want to do in the morning. So you could use this time to sleep in, you could go to one of the great water parks, head over to Disney Springs. What we actually did this morning, we went to Magic Kingdom for a preview of Tron, which was super fun. If you're a big fan of Test Track, I think you're gonna dig Tron because it's kind of like Test Track on a motorcycle, but also super futuristic and cool. We did ride it during the day. I think that is definitely going to be one you're going to want to try to ride at night. It's going to be super cool at night. I can't wait to try that out. But that's what we were doing all morning. We actually got to this park around 3:30, and you know what? We've got all of the Lightning Lanes lined up for almost all of the key rides in this park. Our first Lightning Lane is over here at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Let's go take a spin with Engineer Goofy, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the most of stacking Lightning Lanes while using this brand new Modify feature. Let's go do it. That was a positively delightful way to start our Hollywood Studios adventure. So we can actually book our next Lightning Lane right at 4:30. That's also the time we can jump on Tower of Terror. So I'm actually gonna sit down over here near Tower. I'm just gonna relax for a little bit, and I'm gonna try to modify my existing Lightning Lanes. That's the great thing about this new system. You're not locked into whatever it is you booked earlier in the day. Pretty much right until the moment you ride that ride, you can go in and modify your Lightning Lane reservations and maybe tweak things to get it a little bit better to fit with your plans for the evening. As always, I definitely don't recommend trying to fiddle with Lightning Lanes while you're enjoying the park. Make some time for it, either when you're in line for something or maybe while you're waiting for a mobile food order to come up. Look for those little moments, and if you can't find those little moments, maybe just make some. Find a little time to sit down somewhere quiet. Found a quiet little spot over here near Tower of Terror. I decided it was time for a Mickey pretzel break. For sure, the only way to do a Mickey pretzel is with the nuclear cheese sauce. Truth be told though, if you want a really good pretzel, you should probably skip the Mickey shaped ones altogether. Head on over to Baseline Tap House. They have some of the best pretzels in the park. But enough about pretzels. You didn't come to this video to find out the best pretzels. You came to this video to find out how you can sleep in and still manage to get everything done here at Hollywood Studios. I want to go over really quickly what my strategy was this morning. I started, like I said, right when the park opened at 8:30, and I booked my very first lightning lane. The first one that I grabbed was for Slinky Dog Dash because that one tends to run out fastest. My second one that I grabbed was for Hollywood Tower of Terror. And then the third one that I grabbed was for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Right before I got here, I did grab Rock and Roller Coaster. So I only have one more key lightning lane that I've got to book. That's gonna be for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Those rides that I just mentioned, those are the most difficult to grab, especially later in the day. So if you're gonna do this strategy where you're gonna sleep in and stack rides, I would definitely recommend kind of doing roughly in that order. You could swap Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster, depending on which one was more exciting to you. I just chose Mickey and Minnie because there was a great return time right when I planned to be here, so I went ahead and grabbed that one. And actually right now it is 4:30, so I'm gonna take a quick second. I'm gonna go ahead and try to book that last lightning lane we need for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And then I'm gonna tell you how you can modify these lightning lanes and kind of adapt everything to fit more the schedule you have in mind for your evening here at Hollywood Studios. Well, thankfully that was easy peasy. I was able to grab a lightning lane for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run pretty much right away. I got 5:55. Then I used that new modify feature to bring that time up a little bit. So the way you're gonna do that, go into the chipboard screen and look for the reservation that you wanna modify. There's 3 little dots there in the corner. Tap on those 3 little dots, a menu's gonna pop up, and you're gonna choose Modify Plan. At this point, you're gonna see something that looks kind of like your chipboard screen, but now that ride that you're modifying is gonna be up there at the top, along with the time that it's currently reserved for. Below that, if the ride is available, it's gonna show you the current time you could book that for, or you could scroll down and pick a completely different ride to book. In this case, what I wanted to do was just inch the ride up a little bit because since that is the most recent lightning lane that I've booked, if I could get that sooner, I could go ahead and tap in at that and start booking the rest of our lightning lanes that we have to do while we're here at Hollywood Studios. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the rest of the lineup that I've got as it is. The only thing I would have liked to have done was maybe move Rock and Roller Coaster up a little bit since we're already over here right by it, but unfortunately that ride is actually down right now, so that plan wouldn't work out anyway, even if I wanted to. Right now, it is time to go get our Scream on over at Tower of Terror, but once we get off, I'm gonna share with you guys some tips to most effectively use that 2-hour rule we talked about earlier in the video. Let's go do it. I just got some really great news from the cast members out there. Apparently the refurb is finally done. This is actually running at full capacity. It's just a crazy busy day, I guess. I don't care what those cast members say. That elevator still seems pretty broken to me. So right now I could do one of 2 rides. I could do Slinky Dog Dash because that return time has started. I could also go do Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do Smuggler's Run because of the way that 2-hour rule works. So this does confuse a lot of people. A lot of people think, okay, when I badge into a lightning lane, I can go ahead and book the next one. And while that is true when you're not using the 2-hour rule, when you are using it, things are a little bit more complicated. Let's say I went and badged in over at Slinky Dog Dash. I might think that that frees me up to book another lightning lane, but it actually doesn't, because that ride I booked using the 2-hour rule. The way that it works is when you badge in at the most recent lightning lane that you booked, that is the thing that is going to free you up to book another one. So in this case, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is the most recent lightning lane I booked. So by badging into that one, that's going to free me up to book my next lightning lane, and that's where we're headed. It looks like it is about to downpour, so hopefully we're going to make it over to Smuggler's Run before the heavens open up above us. But while we're walking over there, I want to tell you a few more things about using the 2-hour rule, because that is key to this strategy that we're doing today. Number one, and this is the most important one, whenever you book a ride and you're planning to use the 2-hour rule, immediately do not pass go, do not collect $200, go directly to your clock app. You're going to set an alarm for 2 hours from that moment, and that's going to remind you that it's time to book that next lightning lane. Trust me, when you're not in the park, when you're in the middle of doing something different, you're not thinking about it always. And so you can really miss out on that moment to book your next ride. And every minute that passes is another minute that you're gonna have to wait to book the one after it. So it's super important, set that alarm and book that next lightning lane as quickly as you can. The other thing it's important to know is you don't need to worry so much really about what you book when you book it initially. Now that you can modify lightning lanes, it kind of frees you up to grab whatever and then change it into whatever it is that you actually want. The reason you should just grab whatever is because that clock is going to start counting the minute that you book that lightning lane, but no matter how many times you change it, it's still going to be counting down from that first time that you booked it. Go ahead and just grab something, anything, right when that alarm goes off, and then you can worry about modifying it to be what it is that you really want. I had my work cut out for me as an engineer with that crew, but we made it out alive. Now we're headed back over into Toy Story Land to ride Slinky Dog Dash. We also went ahead and grabbed our next lightning lane. Basically, the minute I tapped in over here at Smuggler's Run, I booked our next lightning lane. I wanted to stay over in Toy Story Land, so I grabbed Toy Story Mania. That means we're only gonna have one more ride to book over there. That's gonna be Alien Swirling Saucers. I don't think we're gonna have a problem booking that one, to be honest. The other thing that happened while we were in line over at Smuggler's Run is we got that dreaded push notification that we were getting what Disney calls an experience redemption. It's what I call a bonus lightning lane. Basically, that means that the ride that we had booked is currently down. So instead of getting to ride that ride, we get this bonus lightning lane that we can use to tap in at any number of rides that are listed on it. These experience redemptions, they don't typically work for the most in-demand rides at the park. They'll be the top 2 or 3 most popular. They won't appear in the list. But always, whenever you get one for one of those rides, that ride itself will appear in the list. So always good to hold on to it and use it on that tough to book ride. Well, we are here in Andy's backyard, and you know what is gonna put a spring in my step? Let's go ride Slinky Dog. Y'all, it is not even 7 o'clock yet, and we have just done everything in Toy Story Land. But not only have we just done everything in Toy Story Land, I just booked the very last Genie Plus Lightning Lane we have to book for this park. I got Star Tours while I was in line. That means we started at 3:30 p.m. in this park, and right now, a little before 7, we have booked every single Genie Plus Lightning Lane. Now, let's go ahead and set expectations correctly. Today is a busy day, but it's not a crazy busy day. You're definitely gonna have a harder time than this if you're here, say during Christmas or around a major holiday like 4th of July. The other thing I think it's really important to remember, I am one person. We did a video recently where we tried booking lightning lanes for a party of 9 people. Now, what we discovered in that video is really from 1 to 4 doesn't really make a big difference. If you're a party of 4 or less, it's gonna be basically like what you experienced in this video. Honestly though, even with a large group, you're gonna have a pretty easy time executing this particular strategy, because what we found was that it was easy to get return times later in the day. What was tough with a large group was getting return times that were really quick. So if you're using this stacking strategy, you can have a lot of success even with a large group. We're doing so well right now. My fingers are crossed that Rock and Roller Coaster is gonna come back online and we're gonna get to ride that. But because we've got so much time, I think we're gonna even be able to do Rise of the Resistance. That's pretty crazy, y'all. We got to this park at 3:30. We're gonna do every single ride with the Lightning Lane and Rise of the Resistance, I think. Let's go see if we can do it.
Good for takeoff. Contact departure on frequency 429. Wait!
Mission? What mission? This is suicide. We'll be smashed to pieces. What are you waiting for? Fire up!
That was an awesome Star Tours flight. I feel inspired to join the Resistance. And you know, since Rock and Roller Coaster is still down, I think we got time to go do it. Let's go ride Rise of the Resistance. We got here at 3:30 today. We slept in and we still managed to do every single ride with a Genie Plus Lightning Lane and Rise of the Resistance. If you enjoyed watching this video, go check out the one we did over at Magic Kingdom. We did this same concept, sleep in and do everything over in that park. Also, give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell so you'll be notified whenever new videos like this come out. Until next time, don't forget to think happy thoughts, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.